You know, listening to some of Joe Biden's arguments in recent days, it reminds me of that old Hitchcock classic, Psycho. Bear with me. In that film, Norman Bates, a nut job who sticks to his house, plays the innocent while blaming his mother in the attic for all the bad things that happen.
It's not as if she were a maniac, a raving thing. She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
I guess we all do. A similar dynamic is at play in the run-up to this election. Today, Joe Biden emerged from a short hibernation in his basement to comment on school reopenings.
If President Trump and his administration had done their jobs early on with this crisis, American schools would be open, and they'd be open safely. Donald Trump and Secretary DeVos haven't stepped up, and we're all seeing the results. Millions of students are now starting the new school year in the same way they finished the last one, at home.
Now, this is a man who understands working at home, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody gets a little mad sometimes, don't you? But Biden is once again blaming someone else for things he and his party are directly responsible for. It is Joe Biden and the teachers' unions that he's aligned himself with that are refusing to return to work. What they want and what Biden is calling for are billions more in federal dollars.
That means tripling funding for Title I schools, giving raises to the teachers that deserve it, getting you the resources you need. We need, look, we're going to double the number of school psychologists and counselors and nurses and social workers in schools. We badly need them, especially now.
Oh, and now teachers' unions members are taking leaves of absences all over the country. In New York State, 20% of teachers refuse to show up for their students. Is that Trump's fault? The state safety requirements have been met, but the teachers still won't show up at school. A group of 7 parochial schools are suing Wisconsin's Democrat-led Dane County after they closed all their schools, despite the fact that these parochial and private institutions met the county's safety requirements, costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, who's responsible for keeping kids out of school, Trump or Biden and his party? Then earlier this week, Biden tried to blame Trump for the riots in Portland, Kenosha, New York, and elsewhere.
Does anyone believe there'll be less violence in America if Donald Trump is reelected? He may believe mouthing the words law and order makes him strong, but his failure to call on his own supporters to stop acting as an armed militia in this country shows how weak he is.
Okay, let's unpack that. Trump is not king of the universe, contrary to what Biden thinks. He can't just deploy federal troops without the consent of Democratic mayors and governors running these localities. And when help has been asked, it's been given. And was it Donald Trump or his supporters attacking conservative leaders in public or threatening people just last week, leaving the Republican convention outside the White House? I guess everybody goes a little mad sometimes. Biden also claims it's Trump who has fomented hatred and divided the people. How quickly they forget.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
They asked me, would I like to debate this gentleman? And I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Can't you feel the love tonight? You see, psychos dissociate from reality. They feel no culpability for their horrible actions or their words, totally blinded by ideology and hatred, I suppose, of the orange man. They say one thing, but they do another. Just look at the slew of Democratic officials flouting the very COVID rules they demand that you follow. Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney shut down indoor dining in his city. But that didn't stop him from traveling to Maryland and eating indoors with no mask or social distancing. Speaker Nancy Pelosi got herself in a little hot water, literally, for dropping by a salon in San Francisco for a blowout, even though salons are forbidden from blow-drying hair and serving customers indoors. She also wasn't wearing a mask after mask-shaming people for months. When challenged, she reacted this way today.
I just had my hair washed. I don't wear a mask when I'm washing my hair. Do you wear a mask when you're washing your hair?
Yes, I do wear a mask. In fact, I just had a haircut a few weeks ago. They made me put a mask on while they washed my hair. Hair's a reoccurring theme for these leaders. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot said back in April, getting your roots done is not essential, except when she needed a haircut. So she broke her own rules and got a haircut. Lightfoot explained that she's a national media figure, you see. You little people can look like hell. She's got interviews to do. Now Biden's running ads blaming Trump for canceling football, even though the president just told Laura this.
I want football back, by the way. Are you watching? I want football.
Again, the truth is, it's not Trump who is stopping football. Not that most people are looking forward to the NFL returning anyway, given the politics and the way it's invaded the field, but rather it is Biden's supporters who are behind it. Democrats like Mayor LaToya Cantrell of New Orleans, who is holding the game and its season opener hostage for money.
For the city of New Orleans to even host an event such as that, September 27, it kind of all goes back to my initial points of the city of New Orleans needing again her fair share in resources that are aligned with the CARES Act money that the state has received and that the city of New Orleans has yet to receive our full reimbursement of expenses that have been approved.
Oh, excuse me, I was trying to diagram that sentence. Anyway, in Washington, D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser created a panel to review the names of schools, parks, and statues in the wake of the BLM protests. They're now recommending that Jefferson and James Monroe's names be stripped from schools in the district. Monuments to Benjamin Franklin, even the Washington Monument, they say should be removed, relocated, or contextualized, according to the panel. Now, Biden has previously said monuments to founders should remain standing. Do you think he's going to stand in the way of Bowser or her minions and their recommendations? Biden only collapses into this familiar refrain when pressed about anything.
That I just don't quite understand. I just don't know. I don't know, and I'm not going to speculate. I just don't get it. I just don't get these guys. I really don't. Not a joke. I mean, I don't get it.
We don't either. The closer we get to November, the more it becomes clear who is to blame for school closures, the violence on the streets, the football and founding father cancellations. Like Psycho, the perpetrator was never in the attic, but he may well be in the basement.